So let's read. Jesus said that men ought always to pray and not to faint. That was the goal, to drive you to a point where you see the value of consistent prayer and that you will not faint. So the Bible talks, verse 2, about a city, and within that city there was a judge which neither feared God nor regarded men. Sin 2. Then the Bible says there was a widow. Now you need to understand who a widow is from this description. A widow here gives the context of a defenseless woman, a woman whose primary support, masculine support, has gone away from her. Are we together? So this is a woman that is described as helpless, meaning that from perhaps an emotional standpoint or an economic standpoint, it is safe to assume from this parable that Jesus used the widow to show how defenseless she was. And now she went to the judge and said, avenge me my adversary. Verse 4, the Bible says, and he would not for a while, but afterwards he said to himself, though I fear not God, nor regard man. Verse 5, yet this widow troubleth me. I will avenge her, lest by her continual coming. Notice, the strength of that woman was not just her capacity to plead, but her consistency, her continual coming. What worried the judge was not her proposition, her plea. What worried the judge was her consistency. And he said, by her continual coming, she would weary me. Verse 6 now. And the Lord said, hear what the unjust judge said. 7, he says, and shall not God avenge his own elect, which cry day and night to him, though he bear long with them? The Lord bless the reading of his word. A few other supporting scriptures. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 17. The Bible says to pray without ceasing, or to pray continually. To pray without ceasing or to pray continually. When the early church was founded in Acts chapter 1, by the time we get to Acts chapter 2, we also see them preserving this apostolic model of prayer. Acts chapter 2 and verse 42, the Bible says, and they gave themselves continually to the apostles' doctrine, and to fellowship, and to the breaking of bread, and to prayer. There you see it again. So it was a customary practice with the early church to pray, and it was incorporated as part of their community programs, the spiritual community program, the breaking of bread, the doctrine of the apostles, gathering house to house, and then prayer.